All right, guys, it's Josh Profit with Whitetail Land Management. We're out here on our 300-acre Kentucky piece, and I am stoked. We got some car pulls to do today. We got some inventory to check on. We're going to do a little bit of summer scouting. We got a couple new food plots back here. We're going to walk back here, check them out. We got one on the north side of the property, one on the south side, both strategically placed. When we get back here, we're going to dive into why we put them there and talk about our access, our wind direction, and talk about some of the deer that might be using them. Both pieces we found a lot of sheds on late season, so we got high hopes for these plots. It's the only beans around, and should be money. We made it up here to the north plot, and it doesn't look that bad. We got a little bit of competition with some weeds, so we're going to get in here within the next week, hopefully get it sprayed, get everything managed down. But this plot here is probably the one that I'm most excited about. We're on the north side of the property. Last year Brett found about 12 to 15 sheds in this field alone, and it's only about 5 acres. So I think a lot of the deer over here are bedded to our west. So we're going to get some stands in here for southwest wind and maybe some kind of straight west wind, one on both sides. We're going to do one on a southwest wind, I believe, blowing our wind back through the corn. And then we're going to do one with a north wind, probably a northwest wind, blowing it back this way towards our access. Both should be pretty bulletproof. I don't expect a lot of deer to come from this direction. I almost guarantee that all the deer are going to come back from out this west end of the plot, hopefully. Super stoked about it. These beans will be great for early season. They'll be great for anything after November. So this plot here should be money. This is the place that I feel the most confident in on the whole farm. We got a camera down here we're going to check that I have high hopes for some good deer, and I just can't wait to see how this plot turns out and see what we can get off of it. So we circled back here to the south side of the property. We have checked 2 cameras. Both cameras produce shooters. We're heading down here to check the 3rd camera and check the south plot. Hopefully the south plot looks better than the north plot. If it don't, we're just going to do the same thing. We're going to come in here, spray it, get the weeds under control in the next week. But this camera down here is the camera that I have the highest hopes for. There was mid-50s, 60s deer running down here last September. So hopefully we pick him back up. I was told he made it through the season. All we can do is cross our fingers and get back here and check the card and check the plot and take it from there. So the access down here on this south plot isn't bad at all. It's a little further walk. You got 2 options. You can walk straight from the parking lot, from the truck, straight down, cut through the woods, which is probably what I would do. Or about an 1/8 mile down here, we have another parking place. We can come in from the road, walk the field edge all the way in. Both places should be money. I have high confidence in the access. I have high confidence in both of the food plot locations. So I don't know, all we need to do is get the deer in here. This location down here, I really think will be better for our north winds. So you kind of got 2 variations you can hunt here, 2 different plots for 2 different winds, but in all reality, like on any kind of wind, you got a location to hunt here. Not to mention, when they take this corn out, we got 297 acres here. We'll have an abundant of food here for them. But the main focus for the food plots are early and late. South plot, here it is. Not gonna lie, I'm a little let down. I had high hopes for this plot. It doesn't look as good as the north plot, so we only got one option. We're going to come in here, spray it. When we spray the north plot, we're going to come in here and reseed it with some greens. Guys, at this point, that's all we can do. It's not a complete loss by no means. We got 5 acres here. We've checked 3 cameras. All 3 cameras had shooters on it, so I'm still feeling really optimistic. When this corn comes out, that's going to draw even more deer in. So I've only got 3 cameras out on 300 acres. So put another 10 cameras on here, I'm sure it'll change the game. I just haven't made it out here enough. But so our access is looking like it's directly from the north. The truck's up here, maybe about 600 yards away. We're going to come straight down the hill, down the edge of the corn, cut through the woods a little bit, and boom, we're right here where we're going to kill. The good thing about this plot is hopefully that we can get it looking good for velvet season, get it looking good for September. This corn here makes it really secluded, so until that comes out, I mean, this is a honey hole. I mean, you can see there's nothing that can see in here. We're pretty much in the middle of nowhere. So we just got to turn this food plot around. That's what we're going to try to do. I think we can do it with good access and throwing these greens down. My hopes are still high. Hopefully next week when we spray it, I'm going to get a cell camera out here and see what's really going on. I feel like there's some deer we're missing, but we're going to give it a go. All right, guys, Josh Profit with Whitetail Land Management. We're going to close this out. Today wasn't a complete bust. I'm not completely happy about it, but I'm staying optimistic. As you can see, I'm sweating. It's hot out here. The temperature's rising, but when the temperature's rising, the deer antlers are growing, and so is my anticipation. It's going up and up and up. So, you know, with what we've talked about today with the food plots and coming in here with the greens, spraying these, as long as the weather cooperates and we can get in here with a timely manner, like I really feel like we can turn things around and get some cameras on these fields. That's going to give me a better idea of what we got going on. There's just not a lot of tracks out here. There's not a lot of browse pressure, but I'm going to pour my heart and soul into it, see if we can't turn it around. I feel good about it. Just going to have to follow us and keep track with this farm.